Abduction of slaves. The story began when a Portuguese ship kidnapped some of the people from Ghana and offered them for sale in the country of Portugal. And from here, the beginning of the curse. The beginnings of the ships are racing to South Africa to kidnap its residents and sell them. Advertisements, and companies appeared, and there were those who had a brand promoting the purchase of slaves. The strength of black Yanian and their great ability to withstand hard work was the reason for their unhappiness. The Europeans were filled with a narrow place with huge numbers of people to take them to their country. Death was their inevitable fate, but to work without mercy until their bodies were burdened and unable to carry them. They get rid of them, kill them, die from the cruelty of work, or one of the ships transporting them in wooden boxes sink. Many of them chose to throw themselves in the ocean in order not to humiliate as they were humiliated by them. And it was also the one who did so to escape from the torment that awaits them. Europe was sunk from the bottom of its foot to the top of its heads in the slave trade. The new immigrants to America were preoccupied with the sacrifice of a whole race of the human race, the Red Indians. And when they finished their work to the fullest, they needed workers who were cheap to build and work in their new home, until they got a winning deal when the captain offered a Dutch steamer that landed on the shore in the port of Plymouth. 20 people of the Negro dynasty were offered slaves. The first Negro church was established 200 years after their arrival, and the slave war was not to liberate the slaves, but rather aimed at the independence and establishment of the United States. And despite their victory and granting freedom to the Negroes, they did not enjoy their freedom until the 20th century. The First and Second World War made great changes in the lives of Negroes. In the First World War, hundreds of thousands of Negroes were transferred to the North, and the reason is that when the war took place, large numbers of immigrants returned to their countries of origin to perform military service. There was no one who worked in farms and factories, so business owners and companies took large amounts of blacks to the north to work in the fields, cotton plantations, and coal mines, so they went to major cities such as Chicago, New York, and Detroit. Harlem is considered the greatest Negro neighborhood in America and is located in New York City. The war produced a different type of black people in a way that became a way that defends his rights and received a Medal of Honor for their courage in fighting, even though these decorations did not add anything to them. He did not like this white fanatics, so they were a secret society in 1915 called Ku Klux Klan, and it was to fight the Negroes. The timing of its origin was the same as the time that the Blackass were fighting in the field of war. They committed the most terrible crimes of black-skinned. They chased them with carts, and they were shooting at them. They hung them, burned them, and tortured them ruthlessly, and the government supported them in these crimes. But in the Second World War, there were black caps in maritime navigation and Negro volunteers to serve in the Women's Army. And during the last years of the